This video is for you. Look, I want all of you right now to hit that like button if you support the real. Once in the process, this is your confirmation. Everything is aligning for you. Now, deep divers, trust life. Things they're not telling you about trusting life. It's really hard. There are so many people out there right now in today's world who are waking up looking a little bit shaky, baby. And we ain't even had breakfast yet. Can I get a hello there? Because they are scratching their head, wondering how it's going to work out. Are they going to get that job? Are they going to meet that perfect person? Is their business going to get off the ground? Are they going to find a happy home? Are they going to move out of their neighborhood? Are they going to become financially free? Are they going to improve their health? There are so many things which leaves people worried. Let me share with you, deep divers, what's helped me along my journey. Trust life. Things they're not telling you about trusting life. Let's start with this, deep divers. You see, a lot of you have seen me when I was in my back garden with a beautiful afro, and I'm still here. And the only reason I'm still here is because I was able to realize great things take time. I said to the universe, I'm going to be patient. And that's what I did. One brick at a time builds the house. You see, so many people want it right now. And part of trusting the universe, trusting life, is all about you realizing it's a marathon. Shout out to Nipsey Hussle. It's a marathon. There is no such thing as overnight success. There are so many people who want it right now. But do you really want it right now? What would you do if you had it right now? You wouldn't know what to do. Exactly. Even the cat down the road is laughing at you because you don't want it right now. You want to do the work so you can feel truly worthy of it. I've grown. When we talk about becoming our greatest version, I've grown in the process because I've taken my time. And when you remind yourself that it's okay to be the work in progress and the masterpiece at the same time, this will help you trust life. You see, things I don't tell you about trusting life is that the most patient people that you know, it always works out for them in the end. The people who get really desperate, who do anything, or what would you do for a Klondike bar? Those kind of people, it always ends really bad. You know why? Because they haven't taken the time. For the seed to grow, it needs time. When we talk about trusting life, if you want to be somewhere, you want to be somewhere right now, you want your dream to turn into a reality, it's going to take time, a maturation period. You have to remind yourself that, okay, let me stop thinking about the destination. Let me start enjoying the ride. That's what I did. I said, okay, every single day I'm going to share with the world. And I'm going to enjoy it. Whoa! Breathing in that good ass prana, baby. And as time went on, the universe started to work miracles in my life because I abided by the rules and the laws of the universe. There are seasons and cycles. And when you remind yourself, when you move into the ebb and the flow of your life, great things will happen. I want to remind you, deep divers, just because you're not there right now, it doesn't mean that you won't be. It doesn't mean that you won't be. The tortoise and the hare, right? That beautiful story, they're having a race. And the hare is so far in front of the tortoise, it's not even funny. It decides to take a nap. The hare is there chilling just before the finish line. The tortoise is going really slow, but eventually The hare falls asleep and the tortoise just passes it by and crosses the finish line, deep divers. That's a wonderful metaphor for trusting life. It doesn't matter how slow you go, so long as you go. Slow motion this side. It doesn't matter how slow that you go, so long as you go. You see, every single day, remind yourself, take your time. There's no rush. Take your time and trust the timing of your life. This is how I've been able to trust life. And this is the reason why blessings upon blessings are coming my way every single day. Trust the universe. It's easy to say, it's a lot harder to do. Why? Because you see, life doesn't always go according to plan. Man makes plans, God disposes. And sometimes you are so fixated on that plan. And now you realize actually that plan is not what the universe wants for you. It's not what God wants for you. So instead of becoming discouraged, just remind yourself that there is something better coming your way. You see, sometimes not getting what you want is actually the biggest blessing in disguise. So every single day I say to the universe, don't give me what I want. Give me what I need. Don't give me what I want. Give me what could help me become my greatest version, what's going to help me elevate, what's going to help me go to the next level, what's going to help me look 15. Trust life. Deep divers, things they're not telling you about trusting life. What happens to so many people? Life happens. That's what happens. You wake up one day and there are all kinds of problems facing you. All kinds of obstacles facing you. All kinds of adversaries facing you. All kinds of challenges facing you. All kinds of difficulties facing you. And when we talk about trusting life, if you don't have a connection with a higher power, good luck. You don't have to believe in God. You could believe in the universe or even the cat down the road. But once you remind yourself that there is a force, divine intelligence, and when you surrender to that, great things happen for you. Every single day I say, what I know is limited. What you know is infinite. So teach me. This is how to trust life. Things they're not telling you about trusting life, don't think that you have all the answers. Sometimes you have to meditate. You have to let go. You have to surrender and say, you know what? Universe, guide me. Guide me to a place of clarity. Guide me to a place where all the answers will flow and come my way. Because I don't know everything. So every single day I'm asking counsel from my spirit guides, from the angels, from the universe. And this is how to trust life. Trust life, deep divers, things they're not telling you about trusting life. You see, a lot of people get worried people get very worried. They get nervous and they get a mind full of doubt. Worrying is a misuse of imagination. Worrying creates problems which weren't even there to begin with. When we talk about trusting life, remind yourself, instead of a mind full of worries, have a mind full of knowing that everything is working in your favor. You know, sometimes, deep divers, we often ask ourselves, how is it going to work out for me? How is it going to happen for me? And that's really the wrong question to ask. What I've started to ask is, I don't ask. I just know it will happen for me. You don't have to ask the universe how it's going to happen for you. All you have to do is know that it will happen for you. And in the meantime, lose the worries. Lose the overthinking of how it's going to work out. Because the universe has a plan for your life. Deep divers, trust life. Things they're not telling you about trusting life. It was all good just a week ago. Sometimes life is great, and then all of a sudden, what happens? Something bad happens. It's a blackout. You wake up, and it's almost as if you've been hit by a rock. You're concussed. And life right now is bewildering, to say the least. Life right now is terrifying, to say the least. It feels like you're in a maze that you don't know how to get out of. How on earth are you going to trust life in that situation? You've got to remind yourself every single day, when you get that blackout moment, you wake up, and it's just like you've been knocked out. Remind yourself, this is not how the story ends. This is how the story begins. And it gets better. Always remind yourself your story is not over. In fact, you have an opportunity to rewrite the story. You have an opportunity to cast yourself in as the hero of the story. I call it the hero's quest. This is how to trust life. Things they're not telling you about trusting life. Each and every one of us, we're casting ourselves in this movie. Our movie. What role are you casting yourself in as? The victim or the victor? The villain or the hero? The one who has a pity party or the one who picks up the pieces and puts themselves back together? Every single day, when we talk about trusting life, you don't want life to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect for you to trust it. But you have to know that your story can be rewritten at any time. Your story can be rewritten at any time. And every single day, when your story is not going the way you want, rewrite it and say, actually, it does get better. Actually, it does work out. Actually, I'm not going to go out like this. I've come too far. I've put in too much work to go out like that. We compare ourselves to other people, and that's the reason why a lot of people can't trust life. They compare themselves to their neighbor. They compare themselves to their best friend. They compare themselves to strangers. And they wonder why they can't trust life. When you remind yourself that you're not here to compare yourself to anybody but yourself. And the only one you want to be better than is who you were yesterday. This is how to trust life. The only one you should be in competition with is who you were yesterday. Because I stopped comparing my chapter 2 to their chapter 22. And you should stop comparing your chapter 3 to my chapter 33. We are not the same. We are not the same, deep divers. So every single day, trusting life requires focusing on yourself, swimming in your own lane, only competing with yourself. And know, your journey is a unique experience. It's not about looking over the fence. It's not about comparing yourself to other people on social media. It's about trusting your timing. It's very specific to your journey. I say this, your timing is your timing. Trust it. Slow motion this side. But I've missed the boat, Ralph. Well, for those people who are like, I've missed the boat, remind yourself that you are the boat. I am the boat. I can't miss it. All I have to do is trust that it's working out for me every single day. I'm not waking up thinking that the whole world is going against me. I'm waking up knowing that I have the power to influence everything to conspire to help me achieve what I desire. Slow motion this side. I have the power. I have the power. See, man, I have the power to influence everything in my reality to conspire to help me achieve what I desire. This is how to trust life. You have that power by the words that you speak. I always speak words that you speak. I always speak words that are in my favor, never against me. And I never give people out there the power. I have the power. So I'm trusting life that it will work out for me and nothing is in my way. But it will happen for me at the right time. And I've got to be patient. Trust life, deep divers. Things they're not telling you about trusting life. The universe reveals its secrets to people who dare to follow their hearts. If you want to trust life, dare to follow your heart today, and I guarantee you, it will work out for you. And then you'll just say, feels so good to be alive, baby. Can I get a hello? Deep divers, hit that like button right now if you support the
choose love even when we're being attacked. Can we see that everything is a reflection even when that reflection is hurting us? Can we stay awake in this cosmic video game even when the ego wants to lash out? There's no out there. Everyone is you pushed out. The world is a mirror reflecting back to you, all of you, as within, so without. I've been getting a reflection in my video game right now that even though reflection back to me. And so I'll share this with you in this video in hopes to help you stay awake in the video game when unpleasant reflections show up for you. So let me paint you a picture. Years ago, I had another YouTube channel. It was a baking channel, and that was all prior to my spiritual awakening. In that channel, I was trying to be perfect with the recipes. I was trying to be perfect with everything. Why? Because I was afraid. I was insecure. I was so fearful of criticism. I was so fearful of being attacked in the comment section. So afraid. And so I was trying to please everyone. And now I know how impossible that is. It's crazy. You can never please everyone. And when you're trying to please everyone, then who are you being? Are you being your authentic self? I, for one, know I was not. And I was not having a ball. And I engaged in the comment sections. I thought that I had to respond to everybody because they were giving me love for the most part. And so I thought, I must respond back. And so I would engage and be in the depths of the comments, feeling all of that energy that I didn't know was energy back then because I didn't understand anything about energy dynamics at the time. And so I would feel exhausted, and that interfered with how I created the content. No wonder I quit that channel. And so I remember once there was this woman that started commenting, and empathic me was like, let's respond, let's give her some love too. But even though I didn't understand about energy at the time, I felt something was off about her. She was a little bossy, she was a little edgy. And then one day, she completely turned on me. She wrote this huge comment criticizing my method for making a chocolate mousse and even my apple pie. And she was telling me what to do. Over $6 trillion moved through foreign. And she was telling me what to do in a very angry manner. I was so triggered. You know what I did? I responded back. I fought back. I wrote this huge comment saying how I knew she had been a hater all along, and that was my channel. And I don't remember what else I said, but I was very angry as well. I was triggered. I was hurting. And so I wanted to hurt her back. That's what I did. I sent the comment. I felt horrible afterwards. And that was that. And every negative comment I got would hurt me. And I would even take that to therapy sessions. Did they help me, the sessions of therapy? Not at all. I'm just so grateful for spirituality. And so with this channel today, I go about things very differently. For one, I am not trying to please everyone. And if I am trying to please everyone, then what am I doing here? Right? I am here to speak my truth. And I can only speak my truth and reach the people that resonate with my message if I am authentic and if I speak my truth unapologetically, if that makes sense. And so, because I have this experience of how interacting in the comment sections interferes with how I make my content, I don't do that anymore. So I have rules. I do not check my stats all the time anymore. I don't scroll through comment sections seeking validation anymore, because I am here to create content. I'm here to talk to you and to share my message. I get to be a neutral vessel for divinity in order for me to communicate and convey my message. And it's been a blessing, and I love it. And I also now know that everything is a reflection. That woman back there, then, with that channel, she was reflecting stuff back to me. I just didn't know that then. And so what's been happening is there is a person here that's been, I don't know if it's a he or a she. I kind of get like a male vibe, so we'll call them John. So John got here, resonated with the message, and started complimenting the videos, the messages. But then I disappointed John. John was not happy with the wordings I was choosing to use. And so I remember seeing that and going, well, that's fine. I am not here to please everyone. God bless you, John. God bless you. I wish you blessings. I love you. But then I began seeing more comments by John in every video almost. I don't know if I have seen all the comments because I don't check the comments all the time, but I've seen a few. And every new comment, it's like criticism towards something that I'm doing, and I'm thinking to myself, interesting, what is the lesson in this? What is this reflecting back to me? How am I critical of myself? How am I critical of other people? And the comments keep coming. And I can't help but think, if the person doesn't resonate with my message, then what are they even doing here, right? Because ultimately we get to follow our bliss. Because we get to focus on what serves us, on what expands And so why would someone still be here? But that's more of my ego consciousness talking. And so last night, as I'm preparing to sleep, I get yet another comment. And I'm like, oh my God. And then my ego voice gets a little loud in my head. Because here's the thing. There's a direct correlation between your level of your vibration, your frequency, and the loudness of the ego voice in your head. Direct correlation. The lower your frequency, the louder the ego voice is in your head. Conversely, the higher your vibration, the quieter the ego voice is. And so I see that comment yesterday by accident. If anything is ever an accident, right? And so I'm like, oh my gosh, yet another one. I'm just going to bed. I'm getting into the alpha state, right? I'm very mindful with things that I'm consuming before I go to bed and as soon as I wake up. But I see that yesterday and I'm like, oh my gosh. And then my ego starts talking. My ego wants to respond. And I'm like, no, we have been there. I acknowledge you, ego voice, but we're somewhere else now. And so I've been cleaning on these things. When I see reflections that are low vibe, I always clean and send love. And so again, I'm like, what is this reflecting back to me? And so I'm doing Ho'oponopono, and I'm like, this is an opportunity because we are living the human experience. And as human beings incarnated in the third dimension, it's very hard for us to be 100% free of judgment. And so how am I judging myself? How am I judging other people? I know that I am, even if it's only mentally, even if I'm not like literally writing comments. But you know what? I have done that. A year ago, I was on my spiritual journey already. I was watching a spiritual podcast, and the guest was Mike Dooley, and I love me some Mike Dooley. And as I'm watching, like the host keeps resorting to like third dimensional terms to pull the conversation down. So he's like mentioning woo woo, airy fairy, as Mike is like delivering this divine message. And I'm like, why are you speaking about woo woo? You know, and so I get triggered. Remember, let the triggers be the guides. And so I get triggered and I immediately go down to the comment section and I post this block of text calling him out on using terms like that. And I had been on my path already. That was prior to me starting this channel, but it was after my awakening. And so I send the comment. 5 minutes pass and I'm like, what have I just done? And so I regain awareness. I go ahead and I delete that comment. I'm like, it's not about this. If I'm not resonating with this, then I get to follow my bliss. And so I never really watched that podcast again because I don't resonate with the level of consciousness of the host, but everyone is where they're supposed to be. God bless the host. You know what I mean? So if there's no resonance, just turn your back and wish love and healing and blessings, right? This is the high road. So isn't that interesting? Right? So this lingering frequency that is active in my field of judgment, of criticism. So what is John reflecting back to me? Right? I am not above it. I am living the human experience. So it's brilliant. So today I wake up. This filter tells you. And obviously this subject is in my mind because I go to bed thinking about it, right? And I just love divine timing and how the universe is really working in divine ways. And so when I wake up, before I go to meditate, I just go and use the bathroom and I usually read my book for like 5-10 minutes. And then I'm reading the book and this is what I get. I'm gonna quote it for you to see how amazing this is. Fear is also alleviated when we are able to feel compassion for the negative entity, and we may find compassion in such circumstances by reminding ourselves that any such entity is itself suffering. In its suffering, it seeks the distraction or relief of attaching itself to another being. Indeed, we might substitute the phrase suffering being for negative entity. And I'm like, oh my gosh, so much truth in this. Such divine timing. Goosebumps all over, okay? And so compassion is such a blessing because the ego will want to fight back. And in doing that, we rob ourselves of growth. Because ultimately, we love each other. And so if we allow ourselves to feel compassion, even if it feels uncomfortable, even if we're being attacked, what part of me is still being judgmental? I know that there is a part of me that still judges. Because to be 100% free of judgment means to live in the fifth dimension consciousness. Are we there yet? I know we are striving to get there, but are we there yet? You know what I mean? And so choosing love no matter what is such a blessing. And so I wish healing for me and for John. And so the illusion of the 3D is tricking us at all times, and it's a slippery slope. Okay? If I'm not present enough, I might see the trigger or the attack and just slip up. And so the whole point of this video is to help you stay awake in the video game. Because the more you do, the more you remain as who you really are, pure, unconditional love, pure white light. This is who you are, this is who I am, and we love each other, we are one. And so I'm here to remind you, next time when something strange shows up for you and it's